Hey baby, this is Lee, the lipstick wearing Laodicean era locksmith, coming at you with a new kind of video. This is for the new beginners. I've been picking locks for about 9 weeks now, and the biggest hurdle I think I've had really is with my consistency. I watched all the videos. If you're like me, you've seen Locksmith Lawyer. A lot of these guys, you got the practice lock. You see them. They talk about find the binding pin and all that kind of stuff. And then you pick your first master three, and you think you're sliced bread. And then you get to kind of a hump, where again, 1 minute you can pick 3, 4 locks. The next day you can't pick your damn nose. Which, okay. Anyway, so listen, I wanted to go over a couple things with you because I had a little bit of a epiphany the other night, and since then I've been just killing my locks to the point where I actually, on my second try, picked up a Master 911 with the security pins at the spools and just popped that thing. I mean, it's just glorious. Since then, it has really changed my picking world, and I wanted to bring this to you. So let's just get right to it. I'm gonna show you a couple things. This is for you new guys. Sorry if I'm boring you, you old guys and stuff, but this is where we're at. I'm gonna come get right up over here and just show you what I'm doing, okay? First of all, here's the picks I'm using. Here's my pick collection, all right? I would highly recommend that any of you new people, you get yourself a Peterson. It's an H1. Okay, it's black. This is 25 thousandths. This will get you into a lot of different locks. This happens to be my favorite. It's a Euro hook. It's a Peterson. This is the 18 thousandths. Here's a Peterson. Same thing. Euro hook. See the blue handle? 15 thousandths. That means it's thinner. This will get you into the thin stuff. If you have these three right here, you can do some serious damage. Now, here's the epiphany that I had. First of all, I want to tell you, once I got away from bottom of keyway picking, really my life improved greatly also. When I first put in top of keyway stuff, I'm like, it's impossible. I'll never get this. And yet now it's just very easy to do. So here you go. Take your lock, put it in your hand, just like this. See this? Like you're talking, right? Put it in your hand, take your keyway, take your wrench, and just stick it in there. And just lay your finger right over on the top of it. There, you got it, okay? That's it. Practice that, all right? The other thing was, now, my biggest thing, and I wish I had seen this more and more on the videos, is you go in, they tell you, find the binding pin, that whole kind of a thing. Let me tell you something. Here's the epiphany. The Bible, actually, where the pins are, is just a very small section. And when you're moving this pin up into here, you put this thing in. What I do is I go right underneath. See my wrench right here, top of keyway? I put my pick, first of all, let me get around this side. When you're holding your pick, you get over here, make it right. See that? See? I just take my hand, I hold it like this. See that? And I just take and put that tip just a little bit out farther than that finger. And see, I just lay my thumb right over the top of it. And look at, all I do is take my thumb and see how I can slide this back and forth just by using my thumb. That's how Lockpick Lawyer is getting his super control the way he does. Do this, folks, okay? Now, let me get back around this other side. When I go in, I take my pick and I put my top of keyway wrench in there, just like this. When I go in there, I take my hook and I put it right underneath the edge of this top of keyway, and right on the other side of that is pin number 1. I feel for pin number 1 right there. It's right there, and I just creep right along it. I'm just making small. Now I'm on 2. See, you can barely even see my finger. I go down and find number 3. See if it wants to set. And boom, the lock is open. Okay? you just get your pick in there, find that first pin, and when you do, you see if it wants to push up. And if you do, it's just a very small movement. Listen for that tiny click and then just creep the tip of that pick just barely in front of it, and boom, you're going to slam into pin number 2. Just tip that pick slightly and just push that. See if that gives you a click, and move on down the line. Then pull it back out, go to pin number 1 again, and you will nail these things left and right. Folks, literally, since I've tightened up my focus as far as realizing that you are just making very small movements. Arguably, one of the biggest mistakes that beginners make is oversetting the pins. You get a pop on number 3 or something, you think that you've struck gold and you're punching around in there and everything. That's how Locksmith, Lawyer, and these guys know that they're on pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, pin 4. They're creeping the tip of that, keeping contact with those pins at all times. This is Lee the Locksmith bringing it to you real, brother. I'm moving into my American Series 1100 locks and will not stop until I rule the lock world.